Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Suranjali Seal and we're continuing with our idiom sessions in this video as well. This is a part 4 video. We're going to continue with our discussions on idioms. We're going to look at what they mean, their background check, as we've always done in detail, because grammar and vocabulary, like I always say, are not something that you can mug up. These are some things that we have to understand and harness as a skill. So without any further ado, let's get right into this video. So the first idiom for today is to get cold feet. Now, to get cold feet is something that we can really understand easily. Sometimes, when we're really nervous, this used to happen to me when I used to give my dance performances. Before every dance performance, I used to get insanely nervous, and up until I entered the stage. Once I entered the stage, I used to get into my zone and get into my element and enjoy the whole thing. But that little minute, right, that 1 minute before just entering the stage, there's this whole thing that's going on in my head that, I hope everything goes well and everything. So, cold feet is like that when you're nervous. And the concept comes, right, that when you have cold feet, have you noticed one thing? When it's too cold, right, if your feet are warm, your whole body becomes warm. And if your feet are cold, no matter how many jackets you wear, you still feel uneasy. I don't know if you have experienced this, but this I have experienced, and I've heard many people say the same thing, that if your legs are warm, right, the rest of the body is usually warm. And if you, like in a really cold weather, if you're wearing heaves and heaves of jackets, but your legs are cold, right, you'll still feel uneasy. So to get cold feet, is like to feel nervous, to feel, uneasy, to be scared, to be fearful, before doing something. So to get cold feet is an idiom that means to lose courage or enthusiasm, or to feel scared or anxious about something. So remember, like before going on to stage, I got cold feet. This is an example you can use also. So the phrase is often used to describe someone who second guesses themselves or panics in a high pressure situation. So now, in a high pressure situation, now this is the meaning, literal meaning of the idiom. I just gave you an example, but high pressure situation, now let's look at the actual meaning. Now, high pressure situation, suppose you have a lot of work to do. You have to manage this, you have to manage that. When you're managing the whole event, also something goes wrong. The musician doesn't come. You have to call the musician, stuck in traffic, everything. And you panic. Instead of looking for solutions, right? Instead of getting into your zone and looking into it, right? Just dealing with the situation, you panic. So that time you'll say that because the musician was late to the concert, I got cold feet. Because it all depended on you, right? So it's like that. It means fear. It means to lose confidence, to experience nervousness also. Before getting on stage, she got cold feet. So that's nervousness, And anxiety or fear before doing something. Anxiety or fear before doing something. Say, some people are good at extempo speech. Some people are not. Some people who, they have stage fright. So when you just put on stage, even children, when you just put them on stage and they panic, right? They run off the stage or something. So that is like anxiety or fear before doing something. You second guess yourself. You're not confident enough that, yes, I can do this. So, that's that phase. So that's like to get cold feet. I hope this is easy and understandable. Now we're going to the next one. To get into hot water. Now I've given an example here. I've given a picture here. Now look at it. You can understand from the picture itself that it's very uneasy, right? To get into hot water literally means that. Imagine yourself just putting one finger in boiling hot water. It is excruciating pain, It is pain. It is painful. It's not an easygoing situation, right? It is not a good thing also. So the idea comes from that. Look at this person in this boiling hot water. Will that person be comfortable? Not at all, right? So the idiom comes from the idea that hot water can burn or scald, which can be dangerous or uncomfortable. When you burn your hand even while cooking also, that pain is there the whole day. At least for significant amount of time, that pain is there when you burn your hand, right? So it's uncomfortable, that whole pain and that whole situation, right? So to get into trouble, this is the meaning of the idiom. To get into hot water means to get into trouble, an unlikely situation, uncomfortable situation. To be in a difficult situation, be in a situation where you can be criticized, to land into difficulty, to be in danger or get troubled. So basically you can say, after he missed class yesterday, he got into hot water with the teacher. That is, he got into a difficult situation. After his speech, he got into hot water. That is, he got criticized. So, to get into trouble, to be in a difficult situation, as in, in a situation which you cannot get out of, an uncomfortable situation, you can use idioms in that sense also. Then you can say, to land into difficulty or be in danger. To land into difficulty or be in danger, get troubled. All of here you can use to get into hot water. So you say the repeated phone calls got me into hot water, yeah. So the repeated phone calls, like, it just got you troubled. You just didn't want to attend those phone calls. Or you can say, because he did not attend the class, he got into hot water with the teacher. So that means, like, got into trouble. So I think this is also very understandable. These are very easy idioms. Now we can go to the next one. To go bananas. To go bananas. Okay, this is very interesting also. This idiom, to go bananas, is thought to come from the way monkeys act when they are excited about eating bananas. So, the phrase is often used to describe someone's emotional state when they are overacting or overreacting or losing control. So to go bananas, see, I'll give you a few idioms that sound the same also, and I'll clear the difference. First, we'll look at to go bananas. Okay, here the phrase is often used to describe someone's emotional state when they're overreacting. Okay, to go bananas. So here it is taken from monkeys. When you give a monkey, or even a monkey sees a banana in sight, you see they get pretty much crazy, pretty much hyped up to get the bananas, right? You'll see them depicted in cartoons also, in real life also. You'll see that they really do love bananas. So to go bananas means that you're overreacting or you're losing control. Like, in a situation where you're not angry, or you're not really, you're just overreacting to a situation, and you're losing control of your senses. That is like, too much anger, too much sadness, too much pain, too much happiness. Like, it's the overreaction. Okay, too much of anything is not good. My parents always says that. My parents always say that, sorry. They always say that too much of anything is not good. So it can be good things also, it can be bad things also. Too much of anything is not good. You should always have a balance. So what I'm trying to say here is that too much of, like, happiness also, sometimes it's overbearing. Okay, and then sometimes when you're overreacting, like anger, you lose your touch of sense, right? So that is what to go bananas means, or it comes from there. So it means to become very excited or angry or act irrationally. So if somebody is acting irrationally or overreacting, you can use this idiom that please do not go bananas. Okay, you have gone bananas. You've gone completely irrational, overreacting to the limit. So this is to go bananas. What does it mean? Now, to go red in the face, I think that this is very interesting, and it's easy also, to get red in the face. What does to go red in the face mean? Like, imagine a person who's actually going red, like, from the face, he's blushing and he's red in the face. It actually means that that person is embarrassed or shy. So to become embarrassed or angry and have a red face. So when you might have seen many people, okay, they have blood rush to their face, like blood rush to their face, as in not literally, but their face becomes flushed, or their face, I'm giving you all of these different words so that you can understand. Okay, a flushed face, is when you have blood rush to your face. A flushed face, red face. Okay, so when that person is really angry, you can see some people, their ears and their face gets all red. So that means when they're extremely angry. And also when you get embarrassed or shy, right, that time your face becomes red, right? So that's where the idea comes from. So to become embarrassed or angry and have a red face. So now we have the last one, to have a blast. To have a blast, we say this on our birthdays, right, to our friends, that okay, happy birthday, have a blast. So that means to have a great time, or to enjoy yourself. So, or to enjoy oneself. So this is for this slide. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Now we're going to look at the next one, and it is on cloud nine. Now this is something that we use, a phrase that I've heard many people use. Now this is the actual meaning and the history, the background from where this phrase has originated. So in 1896, the International Cloud Atlas categorized clouds, and the ninth type was the cumulonimbus, a big fluffy cloud. Some say the phrase comes from the US Weather Bureau's cloud classification system in the 1950s, where Cloud 9 was the name for the cumulonimbus clouds. This is some people who say it, okay? Cumulonimbus clouds, okay, they're fluffy white, those big clouds that we see, the fluffy ones, right? The white ones, they are known as cumulonimbus clouds. So some people say that it comes from that classification of clouds, that others say that the phrase comes from an older system of classifying clouds where 9 was very high. So some people say it's that cumulonimbus clouds, the fluffy cloud, right? From there the name has originated. Others say that it comes from an older system of classification where, 9, the number 9 was a high cloud. Okay, this is some people who say it. In Buddhism, cloud 9 represents one of the stages to the path of enlightenment. Okay, cloud 9 represents one of the stages on the path to enlightenment. Some say the phrase was popularized by jazz singers looking for a way to express feeling high. So now the thing is, these are all history things. These are all, things that we can interrelate and correlate and understand, right? These are important, or rather very interesting facts. This is where cloud 9, the concept of cloud 9 has come. So what do we know? It might have come from Buddhism, where it is a path, a stage to enlightenment, a path, okay, to enlightenment. One of it represents one of the stages on the road or path to enlightenment. Another thing, we have understood that it can be jazz singers who used, cloud 9 to to describe the concept of high, okay, that the feeling of high, okay, that is what they jazz singers would do. Or it could have come from the Weather Bureau, where cumulonimbus clouds are categorized as number 9, or cloud 9 was the cumulonimbus clouds. Or it can be older system of categorization where the 9th cloud, or the 9th number, was a high one, the cloud, the older system of classifying clouds where 9 was very high. The clouds that fell under this 9th stage were very high clouds. So these are all from facts, okay? These are all correlations that you can make, but this is where it originated from, okay, the idiom. Now, what does it actually mean? We all know this. It means extremely happy and excited. This is in common usage. These are common idioms that I have picked for today, so that it is like a recap and also a little bit more clearing of our doubts. So this is extremely happy and excited, cloud 9. So you can say that after getting her result or receiving the first position in class, she was on cloud 9. Okay, it's like that. So, after she got engaged, she was on cloud 9. So it's like that. So then you have to go or run around in circles. Now this is also pretty interesting. To go or run around in circles, ek hi point pe ghumte raho. It's like that. You keep going around the same circle, okay? Now, where does this idiom come from? This is something, you have to be very observant in society. If you're very observant of your life, right, then you'll be able to understand where does this idiom come from. You might have guessed it also. This idiom, run around in circles, is thought to have originated in the early 20th century. It may have come from the idea of animals chasing their own tails, or from the experience of being lost. So, have you seen a dog chase? A dog chases its own tail. A dog chases its own tail round in the same point. So, the idea comes from that. Or have you heard of anybody saying, I was walking around in circles? When they get lost, if you watch movies or if you read novels, right? Anytime anybody's lost, even in the Fairy Queen also, when they were just lost in the... Just imagine this, in the Fairy Queen also, they were lost in the jungle, right? And no matter which road they took, which path they took, they come back to the same spot. So that's running around or going around in circles. You come back to the same point. You're not going anywhere. You're not progressing or achieving anything. You're just moving round and round the same place. So that is the idea. That's where this whole idiom comes from, to go or run around in circles. So to waste one's time and energy doing trivial things. Trivial means unimportant things, okay, useless things. To keep doing something without achieving much. Making no progress in a discussion or argument. So you can say, regarding the lease or regarding the court case, we were just going round in circles. There was no verdict given. Or you can say, we got into a fight and we were just going around in circles without actually solving anything. Or you can say that the whole project was us going around in circles. We did not achieve anything significant. That means you were just wasting time. You're just wasting time. So this is to go around, okay? This is go around in circles. To hail from. To hail from also, this whole idiom also was very interesting to me. And the reason why this was interesting to me is because of this, okay? In nautical terms, nautical means it has to do with navigation, it has to do with seafaring things, okay? It has to do with the ocean. Just take it. Nautical means ships. Just take it as a new word. Nautical would mean it has to do with ships, it has to do with seafaring, it has to do with navigation, it has to do with the ocean and the sea, okay? Nautical terms. Hail means to call out to a passing ship or shore or station, usually to exchange information or request permission. Now, see, this is very interesting. The reason why I give you background check, I think that it's because it enhances our knowledge base, it expands our knowledge base, and also it makes us remember the idioms. Okay, so to hail from, no, what would happen in international waters? Okay, international waters. You have boundaries, right? So suppose one ship from our country is going into crossing the border of our international waters. Okay, crossing it and going into the border of another country. So that country, that country, okay, from that side, whoever's on that side will contact the ship and ask, where do you hail from? That means, what is your name? Okay, what is your ship name? What is your port name? Where did you come from? Like, which port did you set sail? From which port did you come? Okay, so this is in nautical terms. No, you say, where do you hail from? You ask the ship. Even in your, like, in your own country also, when two ships are crossing each other, no, when they're going to cross, one ship will call the other ship and ask, where are you hailing from? What is your name? And where are you hailing from? Then they'll say, I came from this port, and this ship will say, I came from that port. So, they cross. Sometimes in international waters, when you cross the border of your country and then you go into another country, when you're crossing international borders, the other country will call you, okay, from their port will call you, or you will call their port, and you'll ask permission sometimes, that I am getting into within your borders, I have this permission, this, I'm well within my limit of doing so, can I enter or not? It's like that, like this happens, okay? So this is the thing. To hail means to call out to a passing ship or shore or shore station. In the shore, you have station, right? People working in the shore. So you have stations there, usually to exchange information or request permission. It can also mean to make initial contact with another vessel. Now, hail was a nautical term until the mid 18th century. Ships would hail each other to exchange information, such as the port of origin. That is, where do you come from? So when the ship is crossing, no, they hail each other. That's the idea. They hail each other. You call each other and you say, where are you coming from? Exchange information, okay? You call each other. So this is hailing. Now, the term hail from was used to describe port of origin of the ship. That is, where do you hail from? I come from, say, Port Blair. Or you say, where do you come from? I come from this port, that port, like that, okay? So the term hail from eventually became part of everyday language to describe where someone was born or raised. So if somebody, I ask you, okay, where were you born? Okay, when you say, where do you hail from? Where were you born and where were you raised? That is, where were you did your schooling? Where were you born? Which state, which country were you born? Where did you get your schooling? Okay, your progress basically. So where were you born? Were you raised? That time you say hail from. You don't say, where do you come from? If you say, where do you come from? I come from this state. No, you can be traveling also. No, like suppose you're going from one state to the other and someone says, where are you coming from? So I'll say, oh, I'm coming from this state. I just went to Rome. That is one thing. But if you want to know, where was somebody born and where was somebody raised, where did this person, where did this person, spend a significant amount of their life, okay, you say, where do you hail from? So to hail from means, where do you come from? And when you say, where do you come from, when you say, use the word hail, no, it means born and raised. Hail means born and raised. That's why many competitive exams, including UPSC, they ask for a hailing certificate, right? Hailing certificate, that means where were you born, where was your schooling done, where did you get your education? So all of those things, okay? So this is one idiom. Now we're going to go to the next one. To go nuts. Okay, now this is the difference I was talking about. Okay, in in the previous slide, I said to go bananas, there's a difference, right? To go bananas and to go nuts sometimes are used interchangeably. Sometimes people say, oh, to go bananas or to go nuts. They use it similarly, but they have a difference. To go nuts means to become extremely angry, crazy, or foolish, or wild, okay, or wild. To be off one's nut meant to be separated from your head. This is the origin, okay? People used to say, to be off one's nut, you're off your nut. Off your nut means, that what your sensibilities, you're off it, okay? Like it's not there anymore. You're cut off from your head and thus your senses. Like you're not using your senses properly. That eventually was shortened to the current use in which someone can simply be saying, go nuts, you can just go nuts, okay? So go nuts, to be extremely angry or crazy or foolish or wild. I'll give you the difference. To go bananas means to overreact, right? Suppose you're overreacting to a situation. Somebody's telling you something, you also from here, you're blah, 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 blah. You're saying, okay, that is overreacting, okay? People are saying, calm down, and you're not calming down. You're just like out of control. Fine. But if you're wild, okay, you're wild and out of your senses, what will you do? Overreacting is like blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't understand this. I don't want to do this. And people like, calm down, you're overreacting. Wild and out of control and foolish, crazy. Okay, crazy would be you take out your shoe and throw the shoe at the person. So that is acting wildly, that is acting crazily, that's acting angrily and foolishly. You're not using your senses. So this is the difference. To go bananas means you're overreacting, and to go nuts means you're completely wild and crazy, out of control. Okay. Now, to cut a long story short, this is very easy, briefly or to the point. A long story short, for example, somebody will come to you. I went to the airport, and after going airport, we had to wait for 2 hours. And after 2 hours, we got our luggage checked. And then after the checking the luggage, I went on the flight. After sitting on the flight, I reached the destination. When I reached the destination, I realized that my luggage was not coming only. And then I went, you say like that, okay, you're telling a story. Then your friend who's with you will be like, to cut a long story short, she lost her luggage in the airport. Okay, that's what you're going to say. So, that person is giving all detailed accounts, right, from the beginning. But your friend will come and say, to cut a long story short, she just lost her luggage in the airport. So, you're actually not giving details. You're just skipping the details and going to the main point. So, to cut a long story short, used when you are explaining what happened in a few words without giving all the details. Okay. So, to cut a long story short, she failed, for example. Okay. Or maybe she said that she was going on and on about her story at the airport, and to cut the story short, she lost her luggage at the airport. It's like that. Okay. So, off first water. Now, this is the last idiom for today. This is what we're going to do today. So, off first water. This is also very interesting. I wanted to share this with you because I feel like these kind of like background checks will add to our base knowledge base, right? Like I always say. So, off first water, this is something which is very interesting. Please understand this. In the gemstone trade, as in like diamonds and rubies and all of these, okay, pearls. In the gemstone trade, first water means highest quality. The clarity of diamonds is assessed by their translucence. The diamond, the quality of the diamond you'll understand by their translucence. Translucence, that means they have to be clear like water. Like as crystal clear, we say, crystal clear like water. The more like water, the higher the quality. Okay, the more like water, okay, the higher the quality. So that means they have to be like water. The clarity should be like water. So the more like water, the higher the quality. When diamonds fall short of this perfection, when the diamonds do not have that much clarity like water, when they fall short of it, they are said to be of second water, third water. They keep going down, like that. Highest water or the first water is the perfect diamond, okay? The clearest diamond, the translucent water, the water-like diamond, the perfect highest quality is known as first water. After that, it's second water, third water, like that. So what does of first water mean? It means of the best quality. So if you have to use it in a sentence, you'll say, her apples, okay, the apples that she sold, okay, were of the first water. That means best quality, okay. The furniture that we bought was of first water. That is of the best quality. The teaching that she imparts is of first water. That is of the best quality. So this is the examples that you can give for this idiom. Now, that is it for today, guys. These are almost 12 idioms that we covered today, and these are pretty easy ones. There are more common idioms that I included in this video, and I made it so that like we have a clarity, over some of the idioms that we use interchangeably that was required. And I really hope that these videos have been helpful for you. If you're enjoying the videos, and if you have been watching all my videos so far, and if you think that these are of help to you in any way, then please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my channel for similar content. And till we meet again, I really hope that you stay healthy and happy. See you in the next one, guys.